Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and I have a quick review today of something that you can use for your Sony line of cameras, and that is a remote shutter release. I'm not going to say this correctly probably, but the people over at Hongdak reached out to me and asked if I could give an unbiased review of their product. And right here I have the Sony remote cord, they call it, or shutter release, cable release, whatever you need, for your Sony A6000, A6300, 3000, 5000, etc. sold line of cameras. And it really kind of works with anything with their RMVPR1 port. So basically USB, really. Once again, this is the packaging it comes with, and kind of taking it out of the box, you get instructions that I'm probably not going to read because I think I know how this wields. Oh, it comes with a nice foam insert, so that's really cool. And this is all you need right here. You get your cord to connect, which is already connected, and there you go. This is everything right here. You get a little LCD screen, which I didn't realize when they said they were going to send this that this had. So that's awesome. And they, you have your little mini USB cord right here. So I'm going to take this out. We'll play with it, and I'll show you some B-roll about how everything really works. This remote takes two AAA batteries, as you can see here. Here's the silicon packet. But it takes two AAA batteries from there. And the interesting part is there is no on or off switch. So when you put the batteries in, this will be on at all times. So keep that in mind. It's not going to burn through quickly because this really doesn't draw out a lot of power. But keep in mind that if you keep the batteries in, which I would recommend not doing, and that's one thing that I noticed, is that it will always be on. So there's no on or off switch. As soon as you put the batteries in, it's working, it's powered, and just go from there. So take them out if you don't really care. But if you're using it a lot, this will always be in at the ready, at the go. It is a little bit of a plasticky build. You do get a little bit of movement around the battery, but it's not. It's a pretty strong plastic, so it's not going to break easily if you accidentally hit it too hard or something like that. So that's really cool. You get a little bit of a friction plastic up front here, but it's pretty much like any other remote you've seen before. But this is more reliable than using something than like a built-in app that you get for for $10 or something from your Sony camera. But taking a look at the remote right here, as I said, you have the LCD screen, which is always on. You have a lock switch that if you hold it in for 1 or 2 seconds on whatever settings you have, especially if you're doing time-lapse landscape photography, which is probably one of the main reasons you would want something like this, an actual remote cord and a shutter release, so you get the optimal stabilization and you don't get camera shake by clicking the shutter button. So you can lock that in, so that way if someone maybe accidentally hits a button or releases the trigger or something by accident, it actually won't change. So keep that in mind as well. You have a timer start-stop button. That's what's going to start everything that you need. But it's really kind of cool how everything works. You'll notice along the top that there are a couple options here, and you could turn the music off on the far right. But you can set the settings for everything in there. So for the delay, really just kind of hit up and you kind of hit set. And you scroll over to the delay that you want. You could set the long for how long you want your shutter to be open. So you could set it up maybe 1, 2, 3 seconds or however long you want, all depending on what you're doing. Intervalometer-esque, you could set that there. And then you could set the interval that you need. So the time between shots. Or say you want to set the longness between the shots of a couple seconds, but you want the intervals to be, even more spread out. So maybe even 5 seconds or a minute. That's how you can capture great star trails and everything, great time-lapse photography. And then in the end, you could go over the total number of shots and how many it could take. So there are a lot of options it can get. You hit timer to start it, and to stop it, or it will go until it hits the number of shots that you want. And it's compatible with a lot of these cameras, as I mentioned kind of at the beginning of this video. You get self-timers, intervalometer, and long exposure settings. So all in all, this is only about $17 or $18 on Amazon. I'll link that down below, so if you want to check it out, definitely check it out. And I haven't seen a lot of good options for remotes out there. That's why I was very intrigued when Hongdak reached out to me. So once again, there are $10 apps that you could buy in your Sony camera. Some work pretty decently, some don't work as well. But if I really want something that's tangible and something that I have more control over, especially using bulb mode, which to use this and to get the proper settings, throw your camera into bulb mode and this will start working. So you need to be in single shot focus, you need to be in bulb mode, and you need to be in full manual. And pretty much if you're buying this anyway, you should be knowing that, but if you didn't, there you go. And just doing some quick tests, especially outside my window, because I have the New York skyline that I can look at and everything. It just worked well. It's very easy to use, it's phenomenal, and once again, you don't even have to use all the settings for it. If you want just something simple as a remote release, once again, you plug it in and you could just click away, and it will fire the shutter. Once again, the link for this will be down in the description below, but as a Sony user, I do think that this is a really good product. Once again, I'm not paid to say that. They sent this out for an honest review, and I do think it's a good product for what it is. It's not $100. It's plastic, but it's great. It has the LCD screen. I do wish that there was an on and off switch so you're not burning through your batteries or having to keep taking them off and on, but it's good to know that so that way you're not like surprised down the road. But check out the Hongdak RM VP-R1. It'll be down in the description below. But it's a good product. It really is. I highly trust it. Check it out. It works well.